Good morning. Let's get back to a financial update. It is 9:30, September 30th, excuse me. September 30th. The time is 8:24 a.m. Wednesday, the 30th of September. And we are on the heels of a historic show of a debate that happened last night between President Donald Trump and his contender, Vice President Joseph Biden. Now, the thing is, I wanted to, before I jump into anything, tell you that my stocks and the overall stock market is way in the green today. I personally am up 1.5%, which wipes out any losses from yesterday, but now I'm up 10% this whole week. And everything's in the green for the most part. S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones are all shooting up today, which, in my opinion, cannot be coincidental with the timing of the debate, and leads me to believe that investors are probably thinking of a Trump victory. I don't think, and you can argue with me in the comments, but I don't think that stock investors in the market generally are in favor of Biden because they want to make money, and Biden has already basically said he's going to go after people like that, and he's going to raise taxes, and we all know that the market's going to drop dramatically if he gets elected. So I would think that this is market confidence in President Trump based on that. But if you look at the gold prices, gold is up past 1900 again, and silver is climbing back up into the 24s. And we'll read some news about that in a minute. But I do want to follow up on a couple things. One, we talked about Coinbase. I think it was yesterday. Coinbase's CEO basically said, we're apolitical. We're not going to be getting woke. We're not going to be going broke by taking certain political stances. We are not going to take a stance pro or against anything. We're just going to be a neutral company focused on our mission and our shareholders. Basically like all businesses were up until recently. And it looks like Coinbase is basically telling their employees who are not down with that to take this severance package and get the F out. With this, Coinbase offers severance package to employees unsatisfied with a political mission. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong sent his employees a letter telling them to get in line with a new company culture shift, offering those unwilling to do so a generous separation package. That's interesting. I wonder how generous. Armstrong sent the letter, which Coindesk, I'm really tired today, so I didn't sleep well, so I'm not going to be reading well, I think, but let's see. Armstrong sent the letter, which Coindesk obtained, to Coinbase employees on Wednesday, stating the time has come to have a difficult conversation over his recent clarification of Coinbase's mission. I'm not going to do that. I was going to open my window. I'm actually getting kind of hot. I did not sleep well. I'm not sure that I'm feeling well, but we'll get through this. A person close to the situation, speaking under condition of anonymity, confirmed the letter was real and said Coinbase recognized certain employees weren't comfortable with the new direction. Armstrong wrote that Coinbase had an apolitical culture in an open letter published Sunday that said the exchange would not engage in broader societal issues or entertain employees' discussions about these issues. Those employees unhappy with the new direction have been informed that they can take up a separation package because life is too short to work at a company that you are not excited about. Yes. The packages includes 4 months severance for employees who have been at the exchange less than 3 years. Wow, 4 months! I'm assuming that means full pay. Like, if you were there for under 3 years, you can get 4 months vacation while you search for a new job, or 6 months if you were after 3 years. Coinbase will also offer 6 months of health insurance through Cobra. Holy crap. This guy, it sounds like he read Corporate Cancer and he is trying to excise the cancer from his company and he's willing to pay for it. Armstrong said he acknowledged many were still processing the cultural shift and offered to answer questions in an Ask Me Anything forum slated for Thursday. Coinbase's CEO also said employees have until October 7th to submit a form to begin the process of severance should they choose to do so. Beyond that date, it will be assumed that everyone at the company agrees with the new company direction, the letter reads. It doesn't mean you have to agree with every aspect, but you should be at least able to disagree and commit to making this new direction a success. So we got some talent that's going to leave Coinbase, but this is a follow-up. Yesterday we basically talked about how Brian Armstrong said this is going to be the new policy at Coinbase, but today the news is they're willing to pay good money for people to leave if they're not down with it. So they're very serious about this. Good for Coinbase and good for Brian Armstrong. I want to go into this. This is a perfect example of a coin that I put a little bit of money into back in 2017, and it looks like I took a big loss, or just a loss on that, because it looks like it's over. I don't know if anyone remembers Salt. Salt was kind of like one of these exciting ICOs from the last bull run in 2017, and it was supposed to be the crypto lending platform where people are going to be like lending. I guess it was the lending club of crypto, if you want to say. But let's see what happened. It looked like it's game over for them. The top U.S. financial watchdog has ordered Salt Lending to offer investors refunds. Wow. Wait, can I get a refund? The SEC told Salt Blockchain Inc., the owner of the lending platform that offers dollar-denominated loans collateralized by crypto, it had 14 days to begin the process of offering refunds to investors. In a public letter, the SEC said Salt's ICO violated securities regulations by not registering the sale beforehand. The SEC said the token counted as a security because Salt told investors they could expect to make a return on their investment. Investors will have 3 months to submit a claim to Salt, who will be obligated to pay back their investment along with any agreed interest. Salt has agreed to settle the action and will pay a $250K civil penalty. Holy, they're done. The lending platform has also agreed to register its Salt tokens, currently trading at 5 cents. So this is an example of a coin that has been deemed a security, which is really bad for them, really bad for people who hold it. Once it's defined as a security, the tax implications are pretty severe, and it becomes... it goes to the domain and the jurisdiction of the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is a ruthless financial organization sponsored by the U.S. government. Salt is over, and this is a good example of a coin that I bought into, amongst other shit coins from 2017. That is a loss for me. I'm pretty sure if I go and look at my Exodus wallet, there is some Salt sitting in there. I know I had some on Binance, and I think I moved it somewhere. I have to go look for it. But it looks like I'll be entitled to a refund, which is awesome. I doubt I'm going to be getting the money that I paid for, or am I? Or is it the same thing as a sale as today's price? Or am I getting all my money back that I spent? Anyway, like I said, the green markets today are on the heel of a debate. And this little Crypto Potato article is... I don't even really know if it's about crypto. I think the gist of the article is that the debate showed how screwed the U.S. is, which is a good thing for Bitcoin, which I agree. If anything happens to the U.S. dollar, the U.S. government, people who are holding cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, are going to be feeling like they hedged their bets successfully. The first presidential debate between Trump and Biden was a mess. Bitcoin was the only real winner. Will you shut up, man? Quote, you graduated either the lowest or the next lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Quote, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm. Quote, it's hard to get any word in with this clown. Quote, no, this is not an argument between two heated up high school teenagers. This is the first debate between the current president, Trump, and the main contestant, Joe Biden. In a little over an hour and a half, Trump and Biden debated over the future direction of the U.S. economy, healthcare, social situation, and other pressing matters. Needless to say, debated is a powerful word for what took place. In reality, it was more like an hour and a half of ridiculous remarks, completely off topic from the matter at hand, absurd interruptions, and a complete lack of any conversational etiquette. At some point, the moderator had to raise his voice in a futile attempt to get both contestants back on point. It's funny, neither of me or my woman were watching. We actually watched the debates last night. It didn't even come up once. And I knew it was on. I just knew it was going to be an S show, and I didn't want to be sitting in front of my TV watching that. I figured I'd just be able to find out the next day. But I figured this is exactly what I think, or what I assumed it was going to be, just a crazy S show. It would be a fool's errand to try and declare a winner between Trump and Biden coming out of this debate. Seema Mata, a political reporter, summarized the first round of the conversation. If this opening sets the tone for the rest of the night, voters will be the ultimate losers in tonight's debate. Fortunately, there was another side to it, one that genuinely won, and that was Bitcoin. Interesting. The key takeaways from the debate. Let's see. Sounds like a stretch, but let's see. Well, for once, Trump really did prove that he can speak louder than Biden. In any case, some of the highlights from Biden were that he managed to make his top points. He argued that Trump's court nominee threatens the healthcare system while also attacking Trump's record on the 2019 crisis. Following a relatively unproductive segment, things took a turn for the worse when they started discussing families and personal matters. Biden attacked Trump, arguing that he only paid $750 in federal income taxes in 2 recent years, while Trump bashed Biden's son for his work overseas, which was completely corrupt. In any case, in terms of economic planning, Biden's approach is oriented to the middle class and has introduced policies to ease the economic burden on working people. Speaking at a rally to kick off his campaign, Biden said that this country wasn't built by Wall Street bankers and CEOs and hedge fund managers. It was built by the American middle class, I guess. During the debate, he touched upon this a few times, outlining that millionaires and billionaires did very well during the crisis because of the bailouts and the tax cuts. He said that Trump's entire attention was on the market while he ignored the regular working people. Trump, on the other hand, pointed out that he's done a great deal to prompt the fast recovery of the economy following the C-19-induced stock market crash in mid-March. In any case, it's hard to even come up with proper highlights of this debate, though it's clear that their political views are astronomically different in most areas. Making a choice shouldn't be hard for anyone with a certain ideology, but this debate surely did little favor to either of the contestants. Bitcoin, the clear winner. Following the clash, some of the more popular Bitcoin proponents came out with a simple conclusion that Bitcoin won the debate. It's easy to see why this is true. For what it is worth, the only thing that I felt watching this whole thing is uncertainty, political, economic, and social uncertainty. This is exactly what I said. This article is about how shitty the U.S. is going to be, therefore buy Bitcoin. It's true that the U.S. economy has recovered from the 19-induced crash. It's true that major indices such as the NASDAQ are recording all-time high values, but it's also true that there were over 40 million U.S. job losses as the pandemic was announced. In just a few months after that, the U.S. government printed trillions of dollars, essentially devaluing the national currency, calling into question its global reserve currency status. Yes, we know this. Now, it's also true that Bitcoin has shown a serious correlation with stocks. During the pandemic, it also tanked to around 3,600, but that was last year. The 36, I'm pretty sure that was not in March of this year. I would have bought Bitcoin if it hit 3,600 in March this year. I'm almost certain it was last year, 19. Naturally, it marked a very quick recovery and even surged to nearly highs above 12,000. The price aside, Bitcoin's inherent qualities look more attractive now than ever. Irrespective of who the next president will be, the U.S. is in for a wild ride over the next few years as this crisis is far from being over. While the economy might appear seemingly recovered, the excess of U.S. dollars is something that will be paid in the years to come. All of this makes Bitcoin scarcity a lot more appealing. After all, you can't print it away whenever you want to bail out failing CEOs. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured this article was going to be about. Debate was a shit show. The U.S. has an uncertain future, therefore buy Bitcoin. Got it. And in price news, Binance Coin has risen to the number 6 with Polkadot and Chainlink red underneath it. That's crazy. I actually do own some BNB, and I bought it when it was around $10, but I think I only spent like literally $100 on it, so nothing too crazy. Let's see, any other big winners or losers? I'm trying to ignore the 7-day. I wish they just tick that out. I don't care about the 7-day. I want the 24-hour, so I'm only looking at the left. Any big winners? Well, Cosmos, never, well, I have heard of it, don't own it, don't know what it does, is up 11%. Zcash is up 8%. And that's it for the top 50. BitTorrent, I actually owned some of this because it was airdropped because I owned Tron. Not doing great, don't care about it. And if you want to see the heat map, which is always kind of fun to look at, mostly in the green with the exception of some well-knowns. But I like these prices for ETH and BTC. And then we already looked at the gold price news, but gold price pushes above $1,900 in delayed reaction as Q2 US GDP contracts 31.4%. Contracts as in like shrinks. In daily reaction, I can't read today, guys. I'm like tired. In delayed reaction, gold prices pushed above 1,900 ounces. Economic data shows just how much damage the C-19 pandemic inflicted on activity in the second quarter. Wednesday, the U.S. Commerce Department said that the impact of the C-19 pandemic on second quarter GDP was slightly less than expected according to its final estimates. According to the latest report, annualized second quarter GDP declined by 31.4%, which seems high, though economists were expecting to see a decline of 31.7. The upward revision with the third estimate primarily reflected an upward revision to personal consumption expenditures that was partly offset by downward revisions to exports and to non-residential fixed investment. Blah, blah, blah. The U.S. did not decline as bad as they thought, basically, and gold is up. And that's it for the news, guys. What do you think? How was that debate? Did you watch it? Do you think the market has anything to do? Like the markets are going up today. Do you think it has to do with the debate? Personally, I do. Let me know what you think. If you haven't already and you're still here, consider subscribing to the channel. Helps out the channel a lot. Smashing a like on it does as well. And of course, leave a comment. And thank you so much. We'll talk tomorrow.